Nerd reactor, roll out.
What's up, everybody? John here. I'm with
And
Mark,
Mark.
and we watched The Marvels. It just came out, and right now, give me your just quick reaction on your thoughts on the movie.
I was entertained. I know there will be people that won't like it, but I was entertained. I love the relationship and the chemistry between Tiana Paris, Brie Larson, Iman Vellani, and the way that they interacted with each other, and the storylines. How all the teasing storylines between Monica and Carol, and Carol and Miss Marvel. All everything has been teased. A lot between WandaVision and Miss Marvel, and it all comes together. And I thought they did a good job in bringing everything together. It's just I wish the story was a little bit better. I wish the villain was a little bit better. I know Marvel has had a villain problem that's not named Loki or Thanos or even Killmonger. So it kind of continues on here, but I did enjoy the movie a lot, even though there are some parts that are really dumb, really cringy. But once you kind of get past that, it becomes entertaining again, and I just like what they did with it.
And so, yeah, for me, like my feelings on this, I felt like there was just all these elements that they're trying to introduce, but I don't think they ever paid off for me because it just felt like thinly introduced elements of relationships between Carol Danvers and Monica, and then you have Ms. Marvel. So, and the whole thing with the switching with the lights, I felt like it was a gimmick, and there's just so many things that I wanted to just feel something about the relationships between these characters, and I felt nothing. And I just felt like it was like a little too late in trying to make you care about them. And I think what this movie needs to do is have like a better setup of why. And I think it just happens right away. And I think with the short running time, the movie suffers for it because you can't really flesh things out. So when there are those emotional beats, it just felt forced. And I felt like, where is this coming from? So those are my thoughts. But let's talk about the things we like about this movie. And I think for both of us, we liked just Kamala Khan and her family and just the stuff they do. And it's just very fun.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Kamala Khan's family, Kamala, just the relationship between them. I just felt like they're truly relatable, and not even that, but it's just fun to be around, and just the chemistry between them because they have that to set up in the show.
Yeah.
And just that, I wanted more of that. It's just let's say if you didn't even know about them, like I feel like you could just be around them and just have fun and feel the warmth between them all. And I wish that was the case with the other stuff. But other stuff that you liked.
I mean, I pretty much said in the other part of the review where I like the relationship that they set up between all of them, because they've teased it a lot, and comic book fans, how much of a fan Miss Marvel is of Carol Danvers. And when she finally meets her, it's pretty much how how it would be if I met Tony Stark, or of how other people would meet Captain America. Would be like, hi, I'm Mark, you're Tony, how are you? That kind of like, shy, but like, you're kind of like geeking out inside. That's why, I kind of think, Miss Marvel is like the best character out of the three, because she's basically
A fangirl.
us.
Yeah.
Where we see ourselves through her, and that's why she's pretty much a fan favorite for a lot of comic fans, and even the video game fans, for the Marvel Avengers video game.
Yeah, and I think I also like for Ms. Marvel is the beginning, like the first act when you're introduced to her. So for people that didn't watch the show,
Yeah.
she gives like a little snippet, and it has that comic book style, and very creative, and it's kind of like comic book coming to life, like art drawings. You know, like when you're a kid, you're doodling.
It was kind of like the Spider-Man credits at the
Yeah.
end of Homecoming.
Yeah, just stuff like that. It was just a lot of fun, and I think I wanted to see more of that. They only did it in the very first part of just introducing her, and then they kind of stopped. And I just felt like, why? Why can't we just have more fun with that? Because I get it, they're trying to introduce the other characters with Captain Marvel and Monica, but then I'm just like, just show me more of just Ms. Marvel, just having her adventures.
Maybe in our own movie.
Yeah.
Or the next season.
And I'll say this right away, like the thing that really got me excited about this movie is probably the two end credit scenes. One that's right after, at the very end of the movie, like the movie, and then one during the end credits.
The post credits.
And then, yeah, so those are the things that excited me the most out of this whole movie, other than just me enjoying the family aspect for Kamala Khan. I don't know, what's the other thing that really excited you?
I mean, it's just they kind of teased it in the trailer where, the switching of the bodies every time they use their light powers, that was done, in a fun way. And there's even, you know, I'm not going to say it because I want you guys to experience it, but there is, a lot of fun moments where they use their powers in a fun, entertaining way that will, I had a lot of fun watching it, and I know some others have too, but that's, I don't know what else, what I can say, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then there are, let's say that, what are the things that didn't work for you in this movie?
Well, the villain, I wish he just had more of a story to her, more of a personality to her. I mean, you would kind of think that, being married to Tom Hiddleston, you can kind of learn, a little bit on like how to make your character charismatic, just like and beloved, like his character is.
Yeah. So just because you're in a relationship doesn't mean
I mean, you can ask for advice. Well, I guess it's your thing, and you can do whatever you feel like is best for the character. But I just feel like her character was just, kind of bland, and I would just wish there was more personality. That isn't just so, I want to get this done. I want to get this done. I want to get this done. It's like,
yeah, she's pretty much a one-dimensional villain.
yeah.
And she doesn't even feel menacing, and just everything about her as a villain is so not compelling, and she's just kind of there just to help with the story for the main characters behind us.
Yeah.
And like, let's say if you have one-note villains, you can have one-note villains for these type of movies, but make them still interesting enough. Like Ronan the Accuser, right? Like he's pretty one-note, but like just he looks cool. He looks menacing when he fights. You're like, oh man, don't mess with this guy. And for her, she just, when she's doing all these action scenes and she's beating up the Marvels with her powers, I just didn't feel like she was threatening, even though she was beating them up.
Yeah.
I just felt like it's just part of the story. And I was never like, oh no, we gotta fear her, or, yeah, she's just not compelling enough. Another aspect, for me at least, for this movie that I think didn't work, even though you thought it worked, you liked it, for me, I never really cared about just Carol and Monica, their relationship being together, and also just this actual story. Like, I agree with you there, with the story's not strong enough, and it's just not exciting enough where I should feel like I should care. And the whole time I'm just waiting for a moment where I care about these characters, and I need more of that. Just, I guess they show a little bit of bonding time, but I want more of that bonding time. I want just more oomph, and just more of them just actually enjoying each other's company, because most of the time they're just trying to figure things out with the powers. Like you enjoy the whole fun aspect with them switching. I think for me, I felt like it's a gimmick with the whole switching thing because it takes away from actually trying to develop the relationship, because they're busy worrying about going to other places, teleporting elsewhere, and I just want to see like a story with them just trying to connect together. And there's so many things. Like I think for me another problem is that it just feels like it's so random. This movie is so random, introducing you to these different elements. There's a bunch of silly scenes that they're trying to do,
The dumb parts.
and the dumb parts, and I feel like they're trying to double down on it, but it just makes it feel even lamer. and let's say there's like a certain sequence. I want them to go all out in terms of really committing, because it feels half-assed. For example, there is a song and dance number, and it just feels half-assed. And like, let's say we both watch RRR.
Yeah.
Like when they do a song and dance number, it's epic. It's like everyone's involved. And here in this movie, they're trying to hype it up like something big and epic. Carol Danvers is, but then when it happens, it doesn't feel epic. It just feels like a letdown, and it just feels silly. It feels awkward, and because you half-ass it and you keep on doing it in a half-assed way, I'm like, just stop, just give up, stop this madness. All right. So another thing that didn't work for you, what is it?
The story, they were trying to build it up to be like this, high stakes, end the world thing, but it just didn't feel like there was any stakes involved. I know there were some like, movies with low stakes like Thor: Love and Thunder, where, it didn't feel like, it's okay to like not having any world ending events in the movie, but this one had world ending events in the movie, but it just didn't feel like
It's
you know,
ending.
yeah, it's
Like-
ending. Like there's no doom or gloom or end of
Yeah.
the world vibes
Yeah.
to it.
Like you can show it, like they try to do it like, oh, there's people and it looks sad, but there's no connection. There's no like actual fear.
Yeah.
Like even when they're showing the people at their desperate times, it just feels like everything's honky dory kinda. Like we're just walking around. Imagine like just people outside the mall just walking around, but you just dim the lights a bit, and that's their doom and gloom. That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
And the stakes, yeah, there is the whole thing with Carol Danvers, Monica. They're trying to do something at the very end of the third act, and also with the bad guys too. Everything in the third act just felt lackluster. Like everything's building up, but you don't care about anything that happens because the way the villain does things, it's like I'm trying to say this without spoilers, but it just felt lacking in terms of just impact.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like it just happens, and I'm like, wow, that's it.
And that just goes back to the whole like villain problem of the movie. It's just, I don't want to say like, she was the like big problem with the movie, because there are, other problems with the movie that I've had, but, in order for kind of like a team up movie like this to work, you kind of need a villain that, imposes their will on on everyone.
Yeah.
Otherwise, why are you teaming up everyone?
Yeah. So I think let's say in closing, right? What would you say overall? Your thoughts as more you dig into this?
I mean, I still thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm seeing it again on Thursday, and I'm looking forward to seeing it again. Yeah, of course. I mean, if you guys know me, I'm a huge Marvel fan, so I tend to watch Marvel movies more than once.
Yeah.
So gotta support the brand, give Disney my money.
Yeah.
So it's I'm looking forward to it. I still am. If it was other movies, I'd be like, because I have canceled on screens before, but this one I will definitely look forward to watching it again.
Yeah, I think for me, yeah, I'm definitely not gonna watch this again. Maybe in the future when someone like forces it on me, like, hey, it's been a while, but probably not. at the end of this movie, when I'm like, God, thank God it's over. Even like the end credit scenes, like I'm still excited, but I'm not like fully excited because it's just the way it's set up and just the projection or of the MCU right now. Like, I need something to really excite me, and parts of it is, but yeah, the end credits. Yeah, we're not gonna say much about it, but yeah. Overall, I thought it was just very dull, bland villain. The chemistry between Carol and Monica is very lacking. The story is just kind of just all over the place because they literally just go random spots. But yeah, you can do that, but it has to feel cohesive. And some elements are like some threads are left like just back there, like they don't even come back to it. So I'm like, oh, all right, okay, we're doing that. And I think this movie could have been, I don't know, if it was longer, I probably wouldn't have enjoyed it anyway. But yeah, so you liked it.
I did.
I hated it. Like the more I talk about it, I hated it. So those are our thoughts. Let us know what your thoughts are on the comments below. With that said, I'm John,
I'm Mark.
and we'll see you guys next time.